Hey everyone, it's Dr. Nic and Mike with Divine Guidance Institute, Modern Day Mystery School. Yep. Teaching you the ancient way of knowing so you don't get kicked, so you never get blindsided again. And today we are talking about relationships and getting your ass kicked and how not to get your ass kicked if you start using your dreams. And we've got some crazy stories today. And we're going to teach you how to do this thing, how to use these dreams, how to start decoding dreams.
And who doesn't really have a relationship problem? So,
Nice.
Dreams are, well, what are dreams for, Nick? I mean, what do they do anyway? It's like a form of communication, maybe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're asleep a third of the time. So are we communicating with the world? Yeah, we are through dreams. So if we've got relationship problems, we're probably getting messages about relationships to keep us from getting blindsided and getting in negative relationships. We're getting them through dreams.
Okay, but you know what else is really super cool? Even if you don't know you have a relationship problem, you're going to have a dream message coming through that's going to let you know what's coming. It's going to give you the truth about it. If you're wondering, is she the one? Is he the one? Are they cheating? Are they really in it for the long haul? We have actual dream stories from our clients addressing all of these very things. So we're going to kick it off with our own bullshit right here. Before cell phones, I was dating a guy named Franklin. It's been 30 years. And it was New Year's Eve. This is the first experience and dream that showed me how valid and important dreams are. It was New Year's Eve. He was coming to pick me up. That was the plan. It was like, okay, I'll call you. I'll be there a couple hours. New Year's Eve comes and goes. Never showed up. Till this day, I've never talked to him again. And we were dating for a while, like at least 6 months, hot and heavy, every day type of thing. I was devastated, as you can imagine, devastated. I had no idea, like, is the guy dead? Is he alive? What happened?
So you were blindsided.
At this point, I didn't know anything about dreams,
all right,
how this stuff worked. I had no clue. I was 23, 24. And, okay, so 4 days later, now every day I am crying. I mean, crying profusely. What happened? This person just ghosted. They totally disappeared. And there is no internet, okay? It's not like you can start searching and go on Facebook and see if they're active and all this bullshit. You don't have any of these tools. So anyway, on the 4th day, I wake up from a dream. And in the dream, it's me and Franklin. Franklin had kids from a prior deal, 2 kids. In the dream, he is walking hand in hand with his 2 daughters. They are walking away from me. That's the whole dream. I wake up. I know instantly what the message is. He got back with his family and was headed in another direction. So the dream showed me what happened. It showed me why he ghosted me. It showed me what's going on now. And it gave me the relief that I no longer, in the moment, I was like, oh my God, thank you. I didn't even know who or what I was thanking. I was thanking the dream for giving me and showing me this truth. I could finally breathe and relax and move on with my life. So that showed me all about dreams. And from that time on, we've been working with dreams. Shortly after Michael and I hooked up, he's going to tell you his story in a minute. And then we're going to get into some crazy stories. But all of these stories can relate to you and how you cannot get blindsided with your own dreams and know what's going on and coming around the corner.
And we always get that message from the dreams. I was, in my previous marriage, I was served with a divorce notice and I was blindsided. I mean, it came out of nowhere. I didn't see it coming. I didn't know we were going down that road and that we're going to go our separate ways, different roads. However, when I remember back, I did have snapshots warning me. I had some nightmares, actually. There was a recurring nightmare about change. Actually, in the nightmare, I remember there was, in the relationship with my previous wife, and there was a bunch of change on the ground. And I always stopped to pick it up, a $50 and a quarter and some nickels, dimes. And it always felt bad. It always felt bad. And looking back, only in retrospect, the dream was showing me there's some big change coming in my relationship. And it was warning me to pay attention to what was coming so I wouldn't be blindsided completely. I mean, it was an event that was going to occur anyway. The dream was showing me a snapshot so it would soften the blow. And I blew it off. I wasn't able to, I went, what's a nightmare? I mean, why should I be paying attention to that? And that was the dream message. It was sent to inform me, let me know, soften the blow so I wouldn't be blindsided. And boom.
Wow.
I didn't pay attention to it really, and I got blindsided. So, I learned from that, pay attention to my dreams, especially nightmares, because they're an important message. It's a wake-up call. You keep having it, and it turns into a nightmare. And it's to let you know, pay attention.
Wake up, wake up.
Wake up. Wake-up call. It's like wake-up call.
So you were blindsided. I was ghosted. All these in serious relationships and dreams. For Michael, giving him a heads up. For me, showing me exactly who, what, where, when, why. So all of my questions could be answered. That's why we call it the ancient way of knowing. What do you want to know? You want to know about your deceased grandmother and if she's okay in heaven? Do you want to know if your cousin who recently killed himself is okay, is in heaven or hell? Do you want to know if your mate is cheating or if your other spouse relapsed, on drugs or alcohol? You want to know if you should switch that job or if the job's about to end and you're about to get let go? I mean, all of these things come to you in your dream state.
Can we program that? Is there a way to program a dream, like to ask it or so it delivers that message?
Absolutely. You can literally program a dream. Y'all, you can ask before you go to sleep. Should I quit this job? Should I move to Texas? How is my deceased grandmother? I want to connect. Is my spouse cheating? You can literally program a dream. You can ask it a specific question, only one question per night. Otherwise, it's too confusing. And then with the dream data that you receive, you'll have your answer. Now, you do need to decode it properly, and that's what we're going to teach, or what we do teach. And to remember the dream also, which is one magic word, hue. That's how you remember a dream before you go to sleep. All you do is hue, inhale, hue on the exhale to remember.
And that's like changing channels. That's why why you hue, because you're going into a different state of consciousness when you sleep. The messages are increasing actually, but they're coming from a different place. We're not awake, a different state of consciousness. And when we hue, I mean, just hue for a minute, 60 seconds before we fall asleep, you've changed the channel from channel 2 to channel 22. And that will help you remember
the frequency.
The dream. Yep, the frequency changes. The vibration literally changes. When you change the frequency, you change the way you remember it and the reality.
Because, and they spoke of it in the Bible. St. Paul said, dying daily, St. Paul. What does that mean? That means when you sleep, you dream. When you dream, you leave the body in energy form. We all experience dying daily. So you don't even have to fear death because we do it all the time in terms of soul travel and leaving the body in energy form. The only thing with death is we do not return. That's all. And we stay in a better place, truly. But that's another podcast. That's another story.
It's like heaven and hell. All right. That's interesting what Nic's saying, because really we're using the dreams to shift that reality and tap into it. And it's always there. So we might as well use the tools so we can get some insight in our relationships, especially, and not get blindsided, because God knows I was dating 5 different people when I met Nic. So, and they were all problematic, to say the least.
Yeah, you were trying to find the one, and that's what we're always trying to find the one. That's why you were dating 5 people. Everyone had a little something off, a little something wrong, as they do. It's like you want that perfect person, and where are they? Do they exist? Yes, the perfect person for you does exist, but you can't settle. We even have a section in our book called never settle. If you don't settle, you do end up with the prize. But if you settle along the way, you're going to waste time and you're not going to end up with the best mate for you. But again, that's another podcast, another talk. But
another time.
Yeah. So I was going to jump into a story. Did you want to
go
say?
ahead.
Okay.
Do your story. Yeah. I want to hear it.
So with our clients, right? Remembering dreams, this and that, and what about the relationship? Okay, and sometimes they don't even know there's something wrong often, right? And they just say, we've got this dream. I've got this dream. And then it's revealing that there's a problem. It reveals that it's going to be, the end of the relationship. So here's a couple of my absolute favorite and recent stories from clients. This one client, and they're all going to remain anonymous, nameless, okay? Anyway, he had a dream. He was dating his girl in real time, and he's helping her clean out her house, and he's taking out her garbage, taking out the garbage, and all these garbage bags. And she says, "Oh my God, stop. I want some of that. Don't take all the garbage." So he starts bringing the garbage bags back in, a couple of them, not all of them, a couple. And that's the whole dream. So we're in the session. The message is this. They're together. He's helping her clean up her act, get rid of negative habits, attributes. That's why the garbage, and he's taking out the garbage. And she says, wait, I want some of that. She is not ready to go full blown into a new reality, free of baggage, free of attachments. That's why she stops him midway. He's cleaning up, helping. No. I want the baggage. I want the garbage. So letting him know she's not ready to go where he is spiritually. He's way down the road. He was working on his stuff, and he was getting her to work on her stuff with the tools. And then she stops midway. No. So the message was showing him, ultimately, they're not going to be together. Ultimately, they're not a match. She's not ready to go where he is in terms of cleaning up your baggage, your issues, working on your issues, and moving down the road. So he didn't end the relationship as he should have, because that was the message. It's going to go south. You might as well get out. He stayed in the relationship a few more months, only to see it fizzle out anyway, because he was light years ahead. She wasn't willing to go where he was. So poof, there you go. Next one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, and we met in a dream. I met Nicole in a dream 3 years before we actually met in the physical. And it was literally showing me, luckily it was a very clear dream, one of those dreams I remembered. And since it was cleared, I journaled the whole thing, because of course I forgot the dream. After a week or two, it's gone, poof. And then I found it in the journal later. But after we had met, I had found it in a journal, but it was showing me my life was really going to take a 180-degree turn, boom, and go down a different road. And we were going to hook up and get married and be together. And I didn't even know this person. In the dream, they were simply a stranger.
With a purple outfit.
Yeah.
And wearing a purple outfit.
And her name was Nicole, and she looked the same. So once I found the dream in the journal, it was like, oh my God, it really changed my approach to dreams. I realized that I was getting everything through my dreams to guide me in the right direction. We call it divine guidance. So we take the right path. We don't get blindsided. And it softens the blow if it's going to occur anyway, because we know it's coming. And I realized all dreams, not just some dreams, all dreams are important messages, especially as it pertains to our life and our relationship. So they're a form of protection and a form of guidance, all at the same time.
Hey, so client, he's dating this girl. They're long distance, different states. So he gets a dream, and they were doing this for like over a year, right? And they're thinking of, should I move here? Should you move there? Like, it was serious, like talking about moving and where are we going to move and what are we doing? And he has this dream. Out of the blue, he has this dream, and the dream is they're in a hotel room and there's a door. the adjoining door in the hotel rooms. And he opens the door and walks through, and she's standing there. And he says, all right, come on. And she will not walk through that adjoining door that connects two rooms, hotel rooms. She's just standing there, and she stands there. And that's the whole dream. She stands there, and that's it. And he wakes up. So then we actually met for a session, and he has this, and he tells us this dream. And they were in the midst, like I said, of deciding where to live and all of this. And I said, yo, bro, you might want to cut this deal short. Your dream is showing you you're ready to take the next step, walking through the door. She is not. She ain't budging. She's not going to make one more move. She's not going to take one more step. You've gone as far as you can go in this relationship. Well, he could have ended it then and saved some time and heartache. But we're how we are as humans, we have hope, and hope keeps us going. And it's good, but it's also, can be a hindrance. So in this case, he did not end the relationship. He stayed in for another, I don't know, it was about 9 months, only for it to end ultimately. She was not budging. She wasn't moving. They took it as far as they could go. And that's what the dream was showing him once again. So you can save time and heartache by using these tools.
And they're a form of guidance, and they're always there for us. We're only going to remember certain ones because in many cases, other ones are kind of beyond us, and they get monitored. And so the dream sensor, which we all have a dream sensor in us, won't let us see it because it might overload us, literally overload us to the point where, we're sitting on the side of the roads crying, and the sensor stops that from occurring. But the dreams we do remember, an important point that I kind of picked up from dreams is also, how does a dream feel? Like, what's the feeling in the dream? Was it a negative feeling, kind of a neutral feeling? Was it a positive feeling? And that gives me an overall orientation for the dream, like, whether to go forward or whether it's telling me to put something on hold. So put the feeling in there with it, kind of an intuitive thing, and dreams and intuition are all one because literally they are all connected.
They sure are. The next client. He was in a good relationship. Well, actually, all of these were good relationships that we're talking about. But then it gives you the snapshot of what's coming. How's it really going to go? What's the ending going to look like? So great relationship with this girl, and he has this dream. They're in a semi-truck, driving. He's driving, she's next to him. And on the side of the truck, it reads long haul trucking. Long haul trucking. That was his whole dream. Now this is really cool and totally positive. We do the session. He tells us about the dream. It's like, what's the message? The message is you're both in it for the long haul. You're both in it for the long haul. Yay! You don't have to worry about this one. You can both relax, feel good about each other, feel good about the relationship, and cruise on down the road. Yep.
Long haul. So it was like, could you say the dreams and interpreting are kind of common sense in many cases?
Yeah.
Like long haul is really giving you the
message.
The message itself.
The specific message. Yeah.
That's interesting. And even the semi, it has a meaning, and the long haul has a meaning. And when we ask that simple question, because people go, wow, what does a dream mean? Just look at it simply. Well, what does long haul mean to me? Well, I'm in it for years and years, long haul. It's pretty straightforward. And once we get the knack of listening to the dreams, remembering them, suddenly we're able to interpret them pretty quickly. And I noticed if I put the dream down and look at it the next day, I'll go, oh my God, now I know what it means. Because when we read it, even if we don't know, in our consciousness works on it overnight. And the next day when I read the dream, it's like, oh, that was evident. How did I miss? Boom. And it's a good technique. Yeah. Don't worry about it. It'll show itself and present the meaning, like long haul.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, 3 more dreams just came in. I got to share these client dreams to give you guys a good flavor for how this stuff works.
When I was in Vietnam, I had a dream that I should shift from artillery over to infantry. And I was presented with the opportunity out of the blue, which was unusual. Captain I met, we became friends, and he said, "Why don't you come on over? I'll do the
Okay.
orders." And the odds are 1,000,000 to 1 that anyone in their right mind would make that move in Vietnam in '68. Everybody's getting killed in the infantry, and it saved my life. Just to kind of summarize it,
Oh,
when I
yeah.
made that shift, and I had the dream, and I also had a confirmation, an intuitive thing, a gut feeling that was so strong I needed to do it. And I took the dream and the confirmation of the intuition and switched. And later on, it literally saved my life.
Literally.
I was able to sidestep getting shot. And my friends who stayed in artillery ended up getting overrun by the North Vietnamese guys and getting shot. So I look back and I went, oh my God.
No doubt.
Thank God I paid attention, So yeah, that's how important it is.
Oh,
Sometimes
so
it's
important.
simply life or death. So you want to be dead? You want to be alive? Pay attention to your dreams.
So back to the relationship and stop. This is just like a couple weeks ago. She has a dream, and so she's dating this guy, right? And they hook up every week. All right. They both talked about like not like going further in their dream, in their relationship. However, they hook up once or twice a week, and they're cool with it. They're cool with this leisurely, casual thing. Sometimes they think about connecting, but they know they're not really right for each other. Anyhow, she has this dream. In the dream, she's pregnant. She's pregnant, and it's a boy, or they're going to have a boy, right? And then she's sad. She is sad, sad, sad. And she never has the baby, and that's the end of the dream, right? Well, the dream is real clear. It's talking about the potential. The pregnancy is talking about the potential within their relationship. But ultimately, it never manifests fully. It never flourishes. That's why she's sad in the dream. So it's just showing her what she already knows inwardly, that even though the potential is there, ultimately, that's as far as it's going. Okay, so she has a choice. She can stay in it, and right now they're cool with it. They're cool with their relationship, and they're cool with knowing they're not going further, and they're cool with just having fun every week. So, and that's good. It's good to know where you stand, even if it's not like the soulmate of the year type of thing. It's just good to know where you stand. And her dream was just giving her an option. It was saying, hey, this could be a full-blown Scooby-Doo or not. And so it gave her a snapshot and an insight, something she already knew, but it confirmed it. See, your dreams act as a confirmation also. They give you information you didn't realize. They confirm information you were wondering about. I mean, dreams serve so many levels of one's life and perspective on all aspects.
I mean, and you would ask, most people are going to go, wow, how can a dream provide all this stuff? I mean, we got our life here. I go to sleep. It's not going to be connected, showing me what's going on in my life. Oh, yeah, it is. It goes back 5, 7, 10,000 years that we can verify every known culture and civilization, from the Greeks and the Romans and the Persians. They all used dreams to show them what was coming. Every emperor, every leader had a dream expert, had 3 or 4 dream experts showing them what's coming, because it told them whether to sidestep a battle. Don't do it. Don't cross that river. Don't cross the Rubicon. Cross the Rubicon, Napoleon. You're going to be king. All that came from dreams. And then we lost it all around, 0, first couple AD, first couple 100 years. Dreams went south. They haven't come back until just recently. And now they're coming in vogue again. People are realizing how important they are, because they are connected to life, and they're our guidance. Otherwise, we're numb and dumb and getting blindsided. So as Nick's illustrated with these dreams, they are all connected. And that's pure quantum physics. That's not even speculation anymore. That's science. There you go.
Yeah. So, all right, let's see here. These next two dreams are about the relationship and giving a snapshot into your mate, not even about the relationship together, just about what your mate is up to. Okay. One of them, client was thinking about, he used to be, pretty big time, doing his thing, selling drugs and whatnot. And he's been good for a long time, working legit, but he wanted to make some quick money. So he said, I think I'm going to go ahead and do a deal. And actually I gave my guy some money to get me rolling, get me set up so I could do a transaction. The mother of his kids, they've been together, I don't know, 30 some years. They're not together, but they talk every day. They see each other every day, but they're no longer, in a romantic relationship. She has a dream. The very next morning, she says to him, "Oh my God, I had a dream." And she doesn't know what's going on about this and him purchasing and him about to go back into that area for, to make some money. She has a dream. "I had a dream. The FBI and you were locked up and you were dealing with the FBI." And so from that moment on, he actually called his boy, got his money back. He didn't get all of it back, but he got half of it back. And he said, "Forget this." Now, he's been working with us for a long time, so he knows about dreams and he knows they're valid. So he knew his baby mama, I hate that term. Anyway, the mother of his children, he knew she had a prophetic dream for him, a message for him. You're going to get caught. It's not going to be good. And he's already got a record, so he would go away for a long, long time. So, and she had no clue what he was doing. But so here comes the message from another individual. Once again, though, in a relationship, showing her a snapshot, giving her a snapshot of where he's going to end up.
I'm just thinking that was really prophetic. And luckily, paid attention. Paid attention and took some action on it. And, that literally, when you look at that, which is why, this whole talk right now has to do with relationships. I mean, so you stop, because who isn't every day? I mean, it's a rhetorical question. If you really are honest, most people hide it. They lie. But if they're honest, it's like, I just got daily. So this is we got the tools and techniques to sidestep that. Every single time we're warned, every single time we know what's coming. And, we want to remain numb and dumb. Don't pay attention to your dreams. But that's a good example.
Yeah, but if you want that extra edge, but this does, it turns you into your best version of you, your Jedi Knight self, your higher self activated. That's why you use these tools. So you have the extra edge. Okay. So here we go. Last one for now. Wife, husband, she was sober for a while. Then she relapsed. He knows she relapsed, but he thinks she's done with it. Well, he has a dream. In the dream, she ends up shooting herself 3 times. She shoots herself 3 times and then he wakes up. Now he's totally freaked out. He wakes up, he goes to her, gives her a hug and a kiss and says, "Oh, I'm glad that was just a dream." Later on, he tells her about the dream. Now, he does not work with dreams. He does not know how dreams work. He just thinks it's a dream like everybody else. But see, here's the thing. If he really knew the truth, because he's been wondering, or is she not, with drugs? The dream was showing him she's still. Her sober self is gone, dead, gone. She killed off that part of herself, the sober self. And the other part is going strong. That's why he had the dream, because he was wondering about it. He's always wondering about it if she with drugs and it relapse, and the dream showed him the truth. He's not my client, so I can't talk to him. And he doesn't know how dreams work. He doesn't use his dreams as tools. So that's, too bad, because then he'd have a real snapshot, Anyhow, So this is why you pay attention to your dreams. This is why you start learning how they work. You start decoding them. So you have the edge. This is all for you in your life. People think they can't know things. And that's why we built our mystery school. It's predicated on knowing how to know anything you want to know, things that are coming that you didn't think you could know. That's why it's so essential. Anyhow, that's pretty much all I've got. You got anything?
Your point. And we get it every day, and everybody always says the same thing. And it's coming from pure ignorance. I'll be honest. And it's, Mike, I wish I knew. I mean, I wish I knew this was going to happen. I wish I knew, could have seen this was coming. I would have done it differently. It's changed my whole life. It was a relationship, and God, damn. And it's like, you were warned. You had so many dreams and so much gut feeling that you didn't pay attention to it.
Yep.
And these things are really for you, so you can make life a little easier and get some guidance on the path, so things flow and they're smooth and not every day getting your ass kicked.
Yeah. So, we're about to launch the mystery school. So it's very exciting. 8 pillars, 8 courses, and of course, a community. So that'll happen probably by May 1st. Actually, Michael's favorite day, May Day. But in the meantime, you can do it yourself with our books, or just tune in like you are with the podcast and whatnot. And courses, community, do-it-yourself books, donations, we got it all. It's a very exciting time because we're sick of everyone getting when they don't have to. They don't have to get blindsided. You don't have to get blindsided. You can have the answer to any question you're wanting.
You got to be looking forward to that.